evening and welcome to the SVG TV News for Friday, October 21st. I am Khalil Kato with the details. In keeping with the global initiative for raising public awareness about breast cancer, the SVG Medical Association today hosted the Pink Cap City Walk. Each year, the organization brings attention to the issues of breast cancer and highlights the measures which women can take to recognize and manage the problems related to breast cancer. On the API's Morning SVG program, President of the SVG Medical Association, Dr. Rosalind Ambrose, says their activities have been yielding results.
We see each year that more women become aware of their breast care. It's an opportunity for the families and friends who know someone with the breast cancer disease to be a little bit more aware of and sensitive to the path, the journey that these patients are going through. So it lends to an educational component in general and waking up the population that breast cancer is very common. It can be very devastating if the disease is detected late. So the idea is to catch people on the early path before it advances, because when it does, it could be very aggressive. And unfortunately, it is more aggressive in younger women. So we really want to encourage people to pay attention. It's at the top of the list in terms of cancers that affect women. And treating it is extremely expensive. And unfortunately, a number of women show up late, in which case it becomes a true battle for life and quality of life and sustainability of the treatment and the whole following them through the course of their disease. It's not only taxing to the body system, but the family who has to deal with this, is also under significant pressure. So we really want to kind of not get into that category or try as much to avoid reaching to that stage. If we do the very early detection, then we have a much better chance of survival, much better, social and quality of life issues to manage.
Dr. Ambrose used the opportunity to reiterate the need for breast self-examinations at least once per month.
After the menstrual period. And the idea is not for a woman to detect the cancer. It's for you to develop a familiarity with what does your breast feel like. Because for everyone, like your hair texture is different, your skin texture is different. Everyone, the breast texture has its little variation. So that if you develop a familiarity of how does your breast feel like in different areas of the breast, then you will recognize if something new is happening, like there's suddenly a lump, which sometimes does not hurt, which is why women often ignore it. They feel something, they say it's not hurting, and so they just don't bother. But we want to encourage you to take that little bother, check in the shower, and feel your breast and become familiar with it. And then if you find something that is different from the month before or the month before that, then you should go and seek some medical consultation about that lump. And this is particularly so if you're between 35 and 65, because those are the most critical years in the time that something's going to happen.
The Breast Cancer Awareness Month theme is Together We Rise. A health initiative dubbed Vincy Moves will be launched here tomorrow at the Arnasville Sports Complex. Vincy Move is an extension of a Caribbean-wide initiative called Caribbean Moves, launched last month by the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, and geared towards bringing awareness and tackling non-communicable diseases. Vincy Moves is being spearheaded by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, and tomorrow's launching also forms part of activities to mark this country's 43rd anniversary of independence. Chief Health Promotions Officer Shanika John says the Vincy Move campaign is going to be around for about 3 to 4 months, with different phases of implementation.
Persons are witnessing now is just for the rest of this year in particular, we are doing the launch and creating an awareness and a buzz about it. So when you see the logo, when you hear the name, you know exactly what it is associated with. This particular launch that is tomorrow is for persons on the mainland. Although we have persons from the Grenadines who are traveling up personally, we have some persons, we have a team.
Right.
that will be going to the Grenadines. So northern, southern Grenadines. So that's Beckway, Union, Canawan. You're not neglected. So we're coming to you in November. As soon as we kick the dust off in St. Vincent, we head into the Grenadines.
As for tomorrow's launch, John says there will be a full suite of events, starting with a walk commencing at 3 different locations.
So if you are walking and you're walking into Annisville Plainfield, you can start at the Lowmans area and you will be on the road with Digicel. If you are starting from the Belmont area, you'll be on the road with Flo. And if you start, no, I made an error there. Belmont is actually on the road with the Ministry of Health. If you start at Prospect, you're on the road with Flo. And so we have those 3 points that will start to walk at 1. But we're asking people to gather at 12, just for logistics. Get your water, get your refreshments, do a little warm up. If there are a few persons who may not have collected their t-shirt and maybe it's still available there, you can do that and all of that. We're also providing some transportation in collaboration with Rotary. They've supported us in terms of getting persons to the walking point as far as Fancy, Chateaubelair, and even for our runners as well. We have 190-something students and open category persons who have already registered just for that running category. So the walk will start at 1 p.m. sharp at the walking point. It doesn't matter if it's 4 people or 300 people. We're going to start at 1. Each of the walk is estimated to be about 45 to 56 minutes, and that will bring people into the Arnisville Tarmac area where you would witness the primary, secondary, and the open category race. That starts at 2 p.m. The race will start at 2 and that would wrap up until about 3:30, and then we head into the Arnisville Sporting Complex, which is a healthy village.
Tomorrow's event inside the Arnisville Sports Complex will feature a display of health food and screenings.
So we have what is called a section that is Vinci Foods, and this is strictly local, approved and stamped sugar and salt content approved by our nutrition unit, and they're the ones actually leading that component of Vinci food. And persons can sample and taste pumpkin pancakes with golden apple syrup free of charge. And that's a local component that the nutrition unit has conceptualized. The recipe cards are also available for persons to take, and we've also incorporated quite a number of our local vendors who also produce. I know the folks up in the Orange Hill Institute there, they're going to be bringing a lot of their gluten-free products, arrowroot flour and all of these different things in the bread and the muffins and so forth. And it's all for free, Johnny.
Yeah, that's the main.
It's all for free.
That's the main word there.
But we were not neglecting the screening component.
Okay.
So we have screening from blood sugar, blood pressure, A1C, maternal and child health, HIV, breast self-examination is also going to be there as well. So it's immunization. We have the COVID-19 vaccine. We have your yellow fever vaccine. We have all of those other vaccines that are going to be available for you, and it's at no cost. So it's really an opportunity. If you've never had a proper, people say, checkup, I think tomorrow you walk that screening section, it's a good place to start.
The official launching ceremony is expected to begin at 4 p.m. and will hear addresses from Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Sinclair Prince, a representative from UNICEF, among others. The Newgrounds Primary School joined a number of local institutions last Friday to host activities in commemoration of World Food Day 2022 under the theme Leave No One Behind. The school's activities included a food exhibition, a tree planting exercise, and a transplanting of sweet corn on prepared plots in the school garden. FAO representative and coordinator of the Resilience School Feeding Program, Laura Anthony Brown, spoke at the food exhibition and explained to the gathering the nature of the relationship between the FAO and the Newgrounds Primary School in ensuring nutrition security at the school.
May I sit in the hands of those who are involved in the school garden? Wow. Do you know something? I'll let you know a secret. When we established this program, we thought, thank you, you can put your hands down. We thought that we would have 20 students. Thank you, I see you. Thank you very much. We thought that we would have 20 students. But when we came, because of the enthusiasm and the excitement of the students, we actually had close to 60. Isn't that remarkable? Give yourselves a round of applause. And so we had a first round thank you of crops, fruits and vegetables that we planted, and we were able to harvest some in June, July, and we having a rough time with the rain now, but we are in a second round of planting, and all of this is supported by our project at the Resilient Caribbean Initiative. And we are hoping that, well, we know that you have been enjoying, those of you who are participating in the program, we know that you have been enjoying participating, and we know that you have been learning significantly also by participating in the program. And so we want to thank you for your support and your enthusiasm. We want to thank the teachers who are involved, and we want to thank your parents who have allowed you to participate. Because you know, agriculture is an important part of food security.
Deputy head teacher at the Newgrounds Primary School, Kathy Ann Ryan, coordinated the tree planting exercise and expressed the benefits of planting the fruit trees on the compound in relation to the World Food Day theme, Leave No One Behind. Michael Dalton, technical specialist of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, oversaw the transplanting of the sweet corn by the students of the school. He provided details of the several stakeholders responsible for the project.
In March of this year, 2022, ICA entered into an arrangement with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the FAO, for an action which had two components. One of these components involved the establishment and maintenance of school gardens at 6 primary schools. The 6 primary schools are the Spring Village Methodist School, the Paget Farm Government School, the Argyle Primary School, Canaan Primary School, Fair Hall Primary School, and the Newgrounds Primary School. Under this action, we established here at Newgrounds a vegetable plot on the southern section of the school compound, which had measures approximately 4,000 square feet or thereabouts. The intention of the plot is twinfold. In the first instance, the plot was established as a tool, a pedagogical tool for the teaching of both students and also teachers as to how to grow vegetable crops. The second rationale or reason for the establishment of the plot was so that we can have a supply of vegetables coming from this particular garden to supply the school feeding program at the school. We have been going at this plot from about April this year. We have been able to establish multiple commodities on the plot, inclusive of corn, both sweet and the local corn, tomatoes, sweet pepper, cucumber, watermelon, okra, lettuce, cabbages, and a range of condiments and spices as well too. The intention is here to also expose the students to multiple commodities so they have a practical experience of growing these. Now, initially, when we entered into this program at the school, our intention was to have a cohort of about 20 students or so that we would train into the arts practically of agriculture. We ended up with a batch of 59 students who participated in the establishment of the plot, and those students were selected from grades 3 and 4, and we had no choice but to go along with this number because the students were so interested in the program for agriculture at the school. So we have a good start. Yes, we've had our challenges recently with the very heavy rains that St. Vincent has sustained over September and October, but the plot has sustained, and we are re-establishing the plot again so that the students have this beyond the lifespan of the project.
An exhibition was held today as part of activities being held to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority. The activities are being held under the theme Conserving Nature, Saving Lives. Communications Officer Twanique Barrow says the aim of today's activity was to educate the public about the role of the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority.
I'm happy we're celebrating today, and we are statutory body under the Ministry of Tourism. So we have Ministry of Tourism here showing some exhibits, and we have some of our stakeholders, Sustainable Development Unit, Forestry Services and the Botanical Gardens that is really a part of National Parks. And the goal of National Parks Day and today is really to educate, it's really to spread awareness about the role of national parks, about our functions, about parks and protected areas, and also to just inspire persons to really conserve our natural resources and encourage persons to preserve them, because our theme for this year is conserving nature, sustaining life. And I was explaining to some of our persons that dropped by that if we don't conserve what we have, if we don't conserve and protect our natural resources, our heritage resources, then the future generation would not be able to enjoy them. So this is all about, yes, celebrating national parks, but we also want to inspire and to help persons to develop a sense of pride and stewardship for the environment.
The services provided by the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, including water conservation techniques, formed part of the display at today's exhibition.
We have different exhibits that promote conservation and that really explain some of the programs that are that we execute under national parks, like our beach profiling program, our water quality program, our climate change program, and the program that I'm a part of, which is the environmental conservation program. And some of our stakeholders, like Sustainable Development Unit, they are one of our key partners, because most of the activities that we do is really relates, I could say. I consider them like our sister, because we promote sustainable development, we promote conservation of the environment, so they're really showing that from a sustainable development viewpoint. And when we have the Ministry of Tourism, we're under the Ministry of Tourism, so they're just really showcasing things, marketing and all the other things. And over here we have the Forestry Services. They're looking at their protective gears and some of the endemic species that the endemic wildlife that we have to ensure that we protect them. And on this section we have our botanical gardens, just displaying some of our herbal plants that we have in our nursery, and we also have some ornamental plants. So we have a wide variety of information here, and there's something here for someone to learn, because I always say education is the key. If we have to conserve, if we have to sustain, if we have to have things for the future generation, we have to educate.
Highlighting the upcoming events to celebrate National Parks Day, which will be observed on October 31st, Barrow used the opportunity to invite persons to a fun day at OWIA tomorrow and an appreciation ceremony at the Botanical Garden.
Recreation Park, and that's in collaboration with the OWIA Heritage Organization. They're having a fun day, and we're just inviting everyone to come out and support. It's going to be around our culture, and yes, we're in the month of independence, so we're doing a celebration. Yes, we're celebrating our parks, but we're also celebrating who we are as Vincentians. On the 31st of October, that's actually National Parks Day, and we're gonna have exhibition, well, not an exhibition, we're gonna have appreciation ceremony. Like I said, we were established in 2007, and there were some persons who were integral in helping us to become who we are today. So we're just showing a bit of appreciation to those persons and some of our staff that has been working over the years with us, some of our long-standing staff. So it's just basically about reflecting about where we came from, and as well as appreciation those persons who played a major role in the development of National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority. Right, so I just want to encourage Vincentians for this month and, you know, all the months, come out and enjoy our parks, enjoy our recreational sites. There's so much to gain from nature, and I really want persons to, as I said, develop a sense of pride and stewardship for the environment, for our national parks. And I also want to wish Vincentians a happy Independence Day.
At today's exhibition, employee of the Botanical Gardens, Pamela Pompey, spoke about some of the rare plants and fruits in SVG.
What we have there is called Garcinia, that green fruit. If you know the mangosteen, then that is the same family as the mangosteen. It has an orange pulp, it turns yellow when ripe. Then we have the famous Dunks plum, where as children we would roll it in our hands and eat it. It's very nice and tasty. Fruit is called elephant apple. Elephant apple or hundapara, you can Google that and you will see exactly what it is. From that you can make a marmalade jelly from this fruit. They would also feed this to elephants. This is the #1 feed for elephants. Plum. This plum would be something that is new to many, but it's very pulpy and soft on the inside. And you can eat that, but it has to be properly ripe for you to eat it. It must turn red because there's a milky stuff that comes out from it that can poison you over time. But when it's properly ripe, the milk will disappear and you can eat it. This fruit is called velvet apple. On the inside, it's pulpy, and there's seeds, and this is edible. It's jelly, and if you know the sticky cherry, it is similar to the sticky cherry.
This was then followed by the...
This is the mulberry. Most persons will be familiar with the mulberry. Here, you have the velvet tamarind. It's very small and the inside is powdery. And it is also edible. Okay, you can also eat this and there's a tiny seed on the inside. For coffee lovers, this is the famous coffee. This is where you get your coffee from. These are the coffee beans. So you know you have to roast the beans and get them grinded into your coffee. This fruit is called the persimmon or the black sapoti. It is soft on the inside, it is seedless. But the other persimmon, it carries a seed which is the orange one that you would use in fruit salad.
Over 40 hand tillers were handed over to indigenous farmers, cooperatives and schools today at the Lacwa boxing plant. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Acting Prime Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Saboto Caesar, said the donation of the hand tillers forms part of the government's thrust to modernize the agricultural sector. Minister Caesar says this initiative will also help to create employment as the operators of these tillers are expected to provide services to farmers. The Chief Agricultural Officer, Renato Gums, said these tillers will go a long way in reducing the time needed to prepare lands, and this in turn will result in increased productivity. The area representative for Mariokwa, the Honorable Sinclair Prince, thanked the Acting Prime Minister Caesar and the government of SVG for the significant investment. Minister Prince said there is no doubt that these tillers will benefit the farmers of Mariokwa and the nation as a whole. The Everything Vinci Expo 2022 will be launched here on Monday at its central location at the Geest Shed, commencing at 10 a.m. Speaking on the API's Morning SVG program today, Executive Director of Invest SVG, Annette Mark, says after a 2-year absence, they have worked hard to make the 2022 Expo bigger and better.
Don't disappoint. We go all out to make sure that anything we put our hands on definitely will fulfill what we say it is. We look forward to you coming up. Bring out your children, bring out your mothers, your fathers, everybody. There's entertainment for everyone. There's something to do for everyone. There's something to see for everyone. hoteliers, please come out, see what is there on offer. Store owners, big companies, come out, see what we have in St. Vincent to offer. We do believe that this expo will be just the beginning of greater things to come. And we look forward to seeing everyone there.
Export Development Manager at Invest SVG, Peter Edwards, said the preparation for the start of the expo on Monday is almost completed, and patrons are in for a treat.
Some hard-working subcontractors that is
you got some elves there, huh?
Yeah. They're working around the clock. Last night when I at around 5 o'clock I left the office and I went back. I was like, what happened? The place has been transformed. I left with maybe, I'll say 20 booths. And then when I came back, it was like 40 something already. And then before I left, it was 78 booths already up. Our corporate section is already almost 90% ready.
We're doing a lot more than we did the following year, but we want to surprise you.
There's a lot of beef.
Yes. So at the entrance, when you get to the entrance, it's an experience. So and then you get in. The first thing you will come across is the sun stage, and then the food court is on the other side, and then we have the the kids corner with bouncing castle and all of things.
What's to the right?
And then you walk in again. It's another experience as you walk inside the gift shed cell. The booths are lay out in a way that you walk in, go in the center, you go again, and so everybody you will be seen. What we've done last year, and we're repeating it and make it better, is that we create a craft for the small businesses, people who just need a little table to showcase their stuff. We create it. We didn't want to just put a table somewhere and tell them, yeah, that's a spot. We create that village. We create that vibe. So when you go in that village to the back, there is drumming and there is things happening, and you can walk around, you can taste, you can feel, and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really good.
Meanwhile, the Invest SVG director says as part of this year's expo, they will be launching a buy local campaign, which will run up to December.
We want to get people buying
events
local after we've done all this
critical importance.
You know, I mean, what we've done all this exposure of our local products and services, you know, I think we do need to support our local people. It's been a hard 2 years, I wouldn't say why, worldwide. And we have a lot here to offer.
Yeah, we need to buy events first.
Yeah. And the money circulates within the economy, and you know.
So it's more like you're buying from yourself, or you're investing in yourself.
That's right.
In one another, which really means a lot.
And that's good and I would encourage people when you come to the expo that you start shopping for your Christmas gifts. Start buying local, get your candles, whatever, your craft.
Says they are also hoping to change things up a bit next year in the form of a trade and investment expo to have more regional participation.
We would have, I mean, I'm sorry to cut you, we would have quite a few people participating from other islands, and you know, while we recognize that it is an Everything Vinci Expo, we do recognize that it is important that we have other people be taking part in the expo. Mainly because you want to see the diversity, you want to see the competition, what you're dealing with, and it really does help to build networking for our own persons who are here. So we want to invite persons, and we're going to be taking certain companies, we'll be assessing them throughout the year. And we were taking certain companies that we will want to showcase and invite certain investors or certain persons to come in to see if we could attract investments where some of the companies are concerned. So we're looking to change things up a little bit next year.
10 members of the Kingstown Cooperative Credit Union Limited, KCCU, are the beneficiaries of the Syslin Joseph Academic Bursary. The bursaries, distributed annually, are to assist the recipients with their tertiary education. This year, the bursaries amount to $30,000, with each recipient receiving $3,000. Addressing the handing over ceremony today, Chairman of the Board of Directors of KCCU, Danville Tony, said that this year the credit union decided to add 4 more persons to the list of recipients.
Academic bursary, you may consider it something small, but I think in this climate of economic hardship coming from the heels of COVID-19 pandemic and the eruption of La Soufrière and the hurricane, and you could name it and name it. Things are very tough. And I believe that with the $3,000 offsetting some of your costs, I think it is a huge, and something that you would appreciate. So the Sisson Joseph Award makes it possible that you can get help, assistance, pursue your tertiary education. And this is an opportunity where we are giving back to our members.
Tony encouraged the recipients to do their best in their studies and to use the money wisely.
Recipients of the award, I want to congratulate you on receiving these awards, and I believe that you are deserving of the awards. I want to admonish you to use the funds wisely. And I want to encourage you to count every cent and make every cent count, because we are living in a time when we need every cent. You agree? And the best way you can demonstrate this is by succeeding in your various studies. Do your best, study hard, study smart, and put God in the midst, and you will indeed succeed.
One recipient of the 2022 bursary, Zoe Shahari, spoke on how the bursary was able to help her with her degree program.
I say this to say, stay determined. Words like yes, you've been accepted, you've been successful, are words that we love to hear, but they may not always be the words that we actually hear. Make determination the order of your day, and in due season, you will reap your reward, just like the rewards you are reaping today. Secondly, how strong are the beliefs that you have in yourself and the power of your dreams? In my own experience, I made a vow that last year, I will be dedicating my next set of A's. Yes, I declared it beforehand. And I would be dedicating them to all who were integral in my selection for the Sisson Joseph Academic Bursary. And sure enough, I was able to obtain 3 A's for that semester, and I was able to get a GPA of 4.0.